What up, nerds? For those of you who are new here, hi. My name is Yasha. I also go by Tato the Penguin. Welcome. I hope that whatever led you to this video or to my content or to my page, I hope it was a positive thing that brought you here. And if it wasn't positive, I hope to make you feel better by yapping on and on for the next however long I plan on doing that. It's good to have you here. This is a mighty fine group of people we got here in this collective here, so happy to have you. And for those of you who have been with me for a while, again, what's up, nerd? I am actually just getting back from picking my mom up from the airport. So my sister is fast asleep, and usually she's not. Usually she is like headed to sleep, so I don't mind being a bit louder. So if you're wondering why I'm speaking incredibly low, this is why. It's because she had a very busy day that took it out of her, and I just would like to be conscientious to her needs, wants, and desires by not being as loud as humanly possible in this closet. The last video I did yesterday, my throat was killing me, y'all. I was not a happy camper. But yeah, the reason why some of my jewelry's already on is because I just got back from picking up my mom. So that's why we're doing that. Ordinarily, I would wear this on my wrist, but I've kind of I liked what I had going on yesterday. So I think I'm gonna do it this way. I kind of have it as a choker. I like that. I hope y'all can hear me. I hope you can hear me okay. This just means we might have to do a little bit of close talking, which I actually like to do. 2 minutes and 23 seconds, so maybe somebody out there also likes a little bit of close talking. So before we get going with our usual content, here is my little crystal mobile that I like to show. I'm telling you, this really does set the vibe for me to show this at the beginning of the videos. It's like, this is a calm space. This is a space where we're locked in. Blah, 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 blah. All that good shit. And then, because my throat is feeling so much better, I actually don't mind drinking this. If you have not had water today, pause this video and go get some so we can drink this together. If you have water next to you, now is the time to have some water, my friend. I know that was a bit more gulping than what I usually like to do. It's just because my throat is still a little sore. That was a bit painful because I just got that from the fridge because I didn't have any in my container. I drank it all on the way to the airport. So I hope you guys can hear me, and I hope me being this close doesn't bother you. I really hope it doesn't. If it does, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This video may not be for you if that's the case. I'm gonna be playing with and holding my clear quartz crystal while I do this video. Y'all, listen. My last video that I did, I was complaining about my throat hurting and how, excuse me, usually when my throat's hurting, it's, let me make sure my do not disturb is on, even though it's currently 1:35 a.m. So nobody should be texting me, but sometimes people get wild hairs up their ass to do weird stuff. So anywho, the last video that I did, I was complaining about the fact that my throat was hurting. 4 minutes and 44 seconds as I say that. And while I was kind of bitching about it, I was also talking about a lot of my feelings, a lot of my feelings of doubt or concern that I have. And, those moments happen pretty I mean, they happen pretty often because I have more years under my belt of being a doubter than I do of believing in what's happening in my space to be. Wipe off this little smudge on the screen. Just give me a second. Okay, got it. I have more years under my belt of doubting than I do of believing that I can do whatever the thing is, right? But I told my dad yesterday, because he came in and he's like, hey, what you doing? I was like, I'm good. I was making myself some tonight I was making myself some oatmeal, and that's what I had for dinner. And my dad shared something with me that I'm going to share with you all because I feel like it may be relevant to whoever I'm talking to, your journey, 5 minutes and 55 seconds, as I am saying this. He said that when it comes to the things that you desire, when it comes to the path that you're walking, he believes, he doesn't believe that you can miss what is for you, okay? His belief is that while you're not going to miss opportunities, it is possible for you to give them up by choice. And I was like, the fuck do you mean by that, bruh? And he said that whenever he chooses doubt, whenever he allows himself to be taken out by doubt for an extended period of time, because he said normal doubt, like, it's normal, it's something that every human being deals with, especially when you have desires and when the path that you're walking is a very lofty, what you consider to be lofty. You know, if you're a person who comes from a family who's never done entertainment in their life, and you happen to be somebody who's doing production, you want to do music production, you want to rap, you want to sing, you want to dance. If you're a person who's really, you have a dream of being a content creator and you just want to hop online and do the stuff that you want to do, you want to do makeup tutorials, or you want to help people find a more wholesome way to take care of their skin and body, like you want to be a nutritionist and stuff, and nobody else in your immediate circle does that, it can feel very lofty. It can feel like it's a lot. It's the thing that you desire, the path that you choose actually starts to feel like a burden, because nobody else that you know is doing this, or nobody else that you know is doing it at the level that you want to do it, or at the level that you see in your mind that it is to be done. And so he told me, he said, I see you doing great things, amazing things even, in spite of how I was when you were growing up, because, you know, my dad will admit this. At some point I might do like a video where I talk to him and I interview him or something, because he was a hard ass. 8 minutes and 8 seconds as I say that. My dad, while being an amazing man who I respected growing up, there were a lot of things that he did that he would probably tell everybody that he did that he was not happy with when it came to raising his children. And he said, in spite of everything that has happened, in spite of everything that has gone down, I have managed to still have a good attitude, a good outlook on life. And, you know, he gave me a really great list of like supportive things. But he said, the one thing that's going to trip you up is your overthinking and your doubt. And he said, because in every other area of your life that you've done, you know that you've been successful in. But this is one of the first things that you're going to be doing that you cannot see. Like, you have an idea of what that might be, but you can't see for sure. There's nothing that you can grasp onto. 9 minutes and 9 seconds as I say that. So I feel like I'm talking to somebody who, you have had a lot of doubts. You've had a lot of struggles with grasping what it is that is meant for you on your path. And though it is meant for you, and though the universe has shown you, your higher self has shown you that you are meant for this, there's been a lot of extra white noise in your way. And it can be really easy to listen to that white noise, especially for those of you who your environment is not a supportive environment. You've got a lot of people around you who, either they gave up on their dreams, and so they're doing shit they don't want to be doing, and so they tell you, oh, well, you know, this is what you need to be doing. Or you have people in your lives who they don't really have anything that they want to do. When I tell you, I dated many a man, 10 minutes and 10 seconds as I say this, so maybe somebody is dealing with dating a person or has a spouse like this or has friends like this. I knew a lot of people that I dated who did not have dreams or aspirations. I would ask them, we would sit down and talk about it, because that's one of my favorite topics to talk about, like on dates and stuff, is what do you want to do? What can I do to help you achieve a dream that you want to achieve? Calm down, stomach. Like, quiet down, fish. What can I do to help you? And almost every single person was like, well, you know, I kind of want to do this thing, you know, where I work at this company because my dad worked at this company, or, you know, I want to work at this company because my mom worked at this company, or, oh, I want to teach. And while there's nothing wrong with those types of jobs, if you're a person who your partner, friends, or spouse tells you, oh yeah, I want to be a teacher, and you're thinking, I'm trying to be selling out stadiums, or I'm trying to be writing a novel that's going to be 11 minutes and 11 seconds as I say this, so somebody watching this, you like to write, and you're like, I'm trying to create a novel that literally changes how things go. I want to show diversity, or I want to show this particular journey that I haven't seen done. That feels a lot loftier than what your people are dealing with. And I want to make sure that I communicate this. There is nothing wrong with being the type of person who doesn't have like a passion. There's nothing wrong with being a person who doesn't have lofty aspirations. If you want to do anything that's what a lot of people would consider a normal job, but I mean, what is a normal job if we're really talking about it? But if you're a person, I feel like I need to scoot closer so that I'm not leaning and breaking my back. I mean, you know, if I'm gonna break my back, it needs to be in. No, I'm kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding, but what was I saying? Ooh, Tammy, stop. Guys, I'm sorry. Your girl is gassy this evening. There's nothing I can do about that. It's a natural bodily function for your stomach to be making all kinds of weird noises. There is nothing wrong with having a desire to do something at a level that is comfortable, that is in most cases common. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, because we do need good, wholesome people in positions. We need people in human resources who care about people. We need teachers who actually care about the content that they teach the kids and who actually care about the kids. We need people like that. But I have a feeling a lot of the people that I'm talking to, y'all are dreamers. 13 minutes and 13 seconds as I'm saying this. Y'all have some lofty aspirations. And some of you have some lofty aspirations that you've not allowed yourself to want because A, you can't see how it's going to get done. I said that in another video. But also B, you're embarrassed about your aspirations because the people around you don't have them. Or the people around you have made fun of it. Or the people around you joke about it all the time. And you're like, ha ha ha, yeah, that's funny, but actually I want to be a comedian because that shit would be so fire. Like, the thing is, my love, is that it takes all kinds. In order for our human ecosystem to work, there's got to be people doing all kinds of cool stuff. Can lift this out of there. There we go. I like that better. That was better. I smell amazing because I take bubble baths. I'm thinking about the hormone monster from Big Mouth. That show was crazy. That was a wild show. That was a wild show. I enjoyed it for like a little bit, and then at some point I got really uncomfortable. I was like, hey yo, this is a lot. This is a lot. Especially considering that the main characters are middle schoolers. I was like, nah, that's a lot to have to watch. So I stopped watching it. I'm telling you, one show that always hits, I'm not sponsored by nobody, but my favorite show of all time is Bob's Burgers. 14 minutes to 44 seconds, so I don't know, maybe somebody watching this is a Bob's Burgers fanatic like I am. If I ever meet you at a con and you are dressed up in Bob's Burgers attire, listen here, we taking a picture together. I'm buying you lunch. But, yeah, like, a lot of you have these, what other people would consider grandiose visions for your life and for your future. But the truth of the matter is, 15 minutes and 15 seconds as I'm about to say this, of course, a large event seems big to somebody normal sized. But you, my love, are a giant. You are a spiritual giant. This is part of the reason you haven't been comfortable in a lot of the environments you've been in. This is crazy because I definitely did not think this video was going in this direction. So somebody needs to hear this. My love, you are a giant. You are a spiritual giant. You have been hiding your talents under a bushel. 50 minutes and 55 seconds on my timer as I say that. You have been downplaying your light in order to make friends or family members or people that you care about comfortable. Some of you, you've been doing it for safety reasons. You're in an environment where you have jealous parents, or you have jealous siblings, or you have jealous best friends, or some of you even have a jealous partner that is jealous. Ooh, 60 minutes and 16 seconds as I say that. Some of you have a jealous partner who, while they say that they want to see you win, it's difficult for them to hype you when incredibly good things happen to you. So some of you watching this are hiding your successes because you don't want to make other people uncomfortable. Some of you, it's not even that your partner doesn't want to see you win. It's that they've been working so hard to achieve what they want to achieve. And you're noticing that you're getting signs, you're getting confirmations about movement you need to be doing. And you're like, well, I don't want to do that because I don't want to outshine my person. I don't want them to feel bad about the fact that I'm finally getting what I want. I'm finally living the life I want. I'm finally walking the path that I want, and they're still struggling. Look here, boo-boo. For all of the people that are in your life who you know and who you are related to, each of them have the exact same access to spirit, to their higher selves, and that divine guidance that you have. If you're watching this video and you feel to send it to somebody, send it. Because sometimes we are the people, places, and things that spirit moves around in order to help people realize their power and their strength. If there is somebody who you know that is amazing, that is incredible, they are so much bigger than they realize, send this video to them, because I got a message for them as well as a message for you. And the message is this: the year of 2025, I swear these are all noises my stomach is making. I have yet to break wind in a video, okay? I've yet to fart. If it happens, I may have to be honest about it. I'm not gonna lie. We're all about authenticity in my videos here. If that's TMI for you, don't watch any of my other shit. 18 minutes and 18 seconds as I say that. It is what it is. These are normal bodily functions. I be burping all the time when I do these videos. I don't know what that's about. I think it's because I'm talking, and so I'm taking in air, and I think that's what causes me to have to burp. But I've yet to break wind. I've yet to break loose. I hope that doesn't happen, because then I don't know if I'll be able to take the video seriously, especially since I'm trapped in this fucking closet. That's part of the reason I haven't let that shit happen, because this is a small confined space and I'm not stupid. I'm not trying to die in here, okay? It's serious. I do not apologize if that was TMI. We are at that level. We are at that level. It is what it is. If you are the type of person who hears my content and you go, some things shouldn't be said. Some things are TMI, and that's how you really feel, I got you. My content may not be for you. It may not be for you. You may have to go elsewhere. But anywho, enough about my bodily functions. And my message for and I say send this to somebody, and then I immediately start talking about my bodily functions. That's funny as fuck. Well, I mean, they need to know what they need to know. You are a giant. You are a spiritual juggernaut. The reason you are seeing this video is because there are things that you feel pulled to. You feel a connection with the stuff that you want to do. You feel a connection. Ooh, spirit's moving in my body. You feel a connection with the things that you want to do. You've got a fire that burns inside of you, and sometimes it's not consistent. Sometimes you'll get that spark, the fire is burning, and you're inspired, and you're working, and then some of you, you let it die off. Why do you let it die off, my love? Why would you allow that to die off? Why would you allow that spark to die off? Some of you, you allow that spark to die off because you beat yourself up about not doing things. So you create these large lists of things to do, almost impossible milestones, so that when you don't achieve them, you can beat yourself up about it, and then you don't try to do the thing because maybe deep down you're actually scared of the path that you've chosen. You're scared of that success. I said it in one of my very first videos that some people are scared of failure. They're afraid of getting so close and then losing everything. They're afraid of the embarrassment of getting so close and losing it all. But some of y'all are afraid of success because you've never had the responsibility that you're gonna have when your stuff pops off. On the journey that you're on right now, you are being trained to be able to handle that responsibility. That's why you have the moments of doubt. That's why you have these videos like mine, other spiritualists here on YouTube that are talking to you, because I did a poll and a good chunk of you watching my videos are spiritual people. You take in content, whether it be people doing tarot card readings, whether it be people who talk spirituality, whether it be people who they vibe with you and you enjoy their content. All of that stuff is being shown to you, not just because of the algorithm. I know a lot of people want to say, well, it's your algorithm. Yeah. Do you know how often I have tried to get content on my algorithms and I've watched it repeatedly and it still won't pop up? It happens all the time. It happens all the time. So the way that these algorithms be working, I know that there are people who are like, let me hit you with the facts of how this works. But let me tell you how spirit works. Spirit don't give a fuck about all that. Spirit's gonna find you offline too. You're gonna be out walking around and you're gonna see confirmations. You're gonna hear confirmations. You're gonna start seeing more of the thing that you know you should be doing. Ooh, we getting into it. So, some of you are afraid of that success. You're afraid of the responsibility, but I'm telling you right now, the reason why your path is going the way it's going right now, the reason why you haven't had what you would consider a big blow-up moment yet, is because you are being prepped. Every stage that you're at, when you get to a certain point, you're going to look back and you're going to say, oh my gosh, I was consistently doing this, but it didn't feel like it at the time. No, when we're in it, it usually doesn't feel like we're moving the way we think we should, because our journey doesn't look like other people's journeys that we've seen. I know in some of my videos I sound like a broken record because I repeat stuff, but I'm going to say the exact same thing that other people who do this content, who are actually genuine about it, something else that they say. If I'm repeating it and I move to repeat it, it's because it is that important. I had a solid week where in every video that I did, I was warning y'all to clear out your friend groups in order to make sure, 23 minutes and 23 seconds as I say that, and 23 is one of my lucky numbers. I was telling y'all, begging you to review your personal and close relationships, because some of y'all had some haters in your circles who you were ignoring. And I don't feel the need to give that message anymore. But it was a week straight. I said it in every video, and it's because I felt it. I felt it as if somebody in my circle was looking at me crazy. But I know it's not somebody in my circle, because my circle is actually just a line. It's me and like one other person. I'm just kidding. It's a square. It's me and 3 other people. There are 3 people that I'm close to who I take their opinions very seriously. Yeah, it's like a square. Or like maybe a, what's the 5-sided shape? I didn't do well in geometry. There is one aunt that I have who is not blood related to me. She's family of affinity, and she is one of the most inspirational people I know. 24 minutes and 24 seconds as I say this. My auntie, she is authentic to a fault. She is one of the women who inspires me to be my most authentic self, because she doesn't care where she is. She's polite and she's cordial, but she gonna tell it how it is. And she's from Memphis, so she about it. She's from Memphis. But yeah, some of you my loves, you are on this journey and you're doing well. You're doing well. If you're seeing this video at this time, you are doing a good job. You're making shit happen. And I'm proud of you, and your spiritual team is proud of you, and your higher self is very proud of you. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Let me get some more water. My throat still hurts a little bit. Let me get some more. I wish I could do the tongue pop thing that so many people can do, but I can't do it. I can't do it. My sister tried to teach me. So many people have tried to teach me, and I can't do it. The tongue pop thing. If you've seen RuPaul's Drag Race, you know what I'm talking about. Alyssa Edwards does it really well. I love Alyssa Edwards. My favorite, as a side note, some of my favorite drag queens are Alyssa Edwards. I loved RuPaul's Drag Race, the season where Lady Camden was on there. I also really liked Willow Pill. Big fan of Monique Hart. Also Katya, Trixie, Mattel, love them. I have quite a few others, but anywho, yes, your path. You guys are being prepped. You're constantly in a growing space. And this is something that I have a tendency to forget. If you've seen my other videos, literally last night's video was one of these times where I was overthinking. And it happens a lot. And I go through these a lot. And when my dad told me, he was like, you can't, I don't know if I even finished that thought. So when I was talking to my dad, sorry, we're jumping back. Hang on, hang in there with me. So when I was talking to my dad, he said, I believe, he told me, he said he believed that if I could, anytime doubt pops up, I just stomp the shit out of it, just curb stomp the shit out of it, fuck it up. He was like, if you can do that, you are going to do amazing things. And he was like, and it's not even really going to be hard work for you because all the stuff that you want to do comes to you naturally already. And so for a lot of you, that's how it is. A lot of you, you're not going to have to work hard at being a musician because you're already musicians. Some of you, you're not going to have to work hard at being the baker that you want to be. Ooh, so somebody's a baker. Somebody's a chef. Somebody does something with food. You're not going to have to work hard because your passion means you never work a day in your life. I saw a video. It was a clip of an interview. For those of you who aren't gamers, there is a young man who games and he streams, and his name is Kai Sinet. And he's a very attractive man. And he's hilarious. And he is he be in the community doing his thing. And in the interview, the interviewer asked him, do you think that streaming, like, you know, video games and stuff like that, is harder than having a 9-to-5? And for those of you who aren't aware, this is a conversation that actually pops up a lot, 28 minutes and 28 seconds in my video as I say this. For people who game, and I consider myself a casual gamer, but I do game a little bit. For people who game for a living and get paid, which by the way, if you didn't know, that happens. There are people out here who are making a living wage and even more recording themselves gaming. And then of course they have merchandise and things like that, but the bulk of what they do is that they sit and they play video games for other people to watch. Again, if there's something that you love to do, there is a way for you to be able to live your dreams doing it. And one of the conversations that crops up is there are a lot of people who will say that streaming video games is harder than it is to have a 9-to-5. And this is debatable because it depends really on the context of what these people are talking about. So if you literally are just streaming for like 5 hours a day, you set up your little setup and you just do that alone, yeah, obviously it's not harder than a 9-to-5. But Kai's response was what I wanted to focus on. He said no. He said streaming is not harder than a 9-to-5. And he said the reason is because what he is doing is what he always wanted to do. He said a lot of people out here who have 9-to-5s do not like the 9-to-5 that they are working. So it's not just harder because of the work. It's not just harder because we're both waking up early, we're having to crunch out these hours, we're having to grind out this time and grind out the content. It's not just that. It's the passion behind it. For a lot of us, when we do, I don't know who I'm talking to, but when you do something that you feel in your gut you were meant to do, because you want to do it, because it makes you happy, because it brings you joy, because it sparks that creativity, because it makes you laugh, because at the end of the day, even if you are frustrated with it, you're smiling with your head on your pillow like, damn, that shit was awesome. Excuse me. That passion makes it 100 times better. And it makes it easier. It makes it not feel like work, even if you are busting out and grinding out more hours doing the thing than you would be doing something else. I bring that up, that interview, I bring it up because some of you are tired of working the jobs that you are already working, and I get that. I have worked in food service, I have worked in retail, I have done call center work, I have done customer service work. Some of the worst work I've ever done is customer service, because there are a lot of people who they have shit lives, and so they make that your problem when you work in customer service. I've worked a regular 9 to 5. I've worked all those jobs, and let me tell you something. Those jobs were only bearable at the time I was doing them because I had a goal in mind, and those jobs were going to help me get to that goal. If I was just doing those jobs by themselves, I wouldn't be here, bro. I wouldn't have been able to do it. So for you, if you are currently holding a job and you are exhausted and you're getting home from work every day and you're opening up your phone or you're opening up your computer like, I just want to watch mindless television because I can't do anything else. I feel that because I've been there. But here's what I'm going to tell you. If you can manage, do something small, one thing a day towards that thing that you are passionate about. And again, if you don't know what you're passionate about, you really need to lock into talking to your inner child, because your inner child holds all of the answers to what it is that your purpose in life is actually about. Your inner child holds those answers. Because as kids, we had inclinations. We had things that we did more than we did everything else. We did. Even if you were a kid who wanted to sleep all day, you'd be surprised. You would be surprised at the amount of stuff that concerns sleep, that is work that you can do, that you can get paid to do. But it's not all about being paid. I know for a lot of people, I try to make sure that I broach the topic, that it is possible and it can be done. But for a lot of you who are watching my videos and you are spiritual people, it's not about the money, because the money will come. The support will come, the care will come. For some of you, it's not even about making money. You just want to be taken care of. There are a lot of jobs, volunteer jobs, that I've seen, and there are websites for this if you're interested, for you to go to a different country or to go to a different state where help is needed, working and doing things, and you go and you do volunteer work, and they pay for your room and board. They pay for your food, they give you a little stipend, and you're just there doing volunteer work every day. These jobs exist. These jobs are out here. And I don't think a lot of people know about them, because when you enter into the 9 to 5 space, you're like, well, this is just what I've got to do, you know? And I think for a lot of people, we've done it. We do that. We do what we need to do when we need to do it. But something small, my love, that you can do that is towards that which brings you life, that which brings you fulfillment. You will be surprised at how much energy you'll gain from that thing. The reason why a lot of you are tired when you get home from work is because it's monotonous. You do not care about the work you're doing. You couldn't give less of a fuck. You really couldn't. You're doing it because you have to do it. Whether that be a 9 to 5, whether that be you work in food right now, whether that be you work in retail, whether it be that you're stuck at what you feel like is a dead-end job. The reason you're tired is because you're not doing things that feed you. 34 minutes and 34 seconds as I say this, so I don't know who I'm talking to, but listen here, my love. If you do something small that reminds you of your childhood, and you start doing that every day, you're going to be shocked to see that you're going to feel a little bit more energized. And with that energy, you just do a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. 2025 is the year of authenticity. It's the year of going down the paths we should have been going down over the past 8 years. It is also the year of getting real. Get real with yourself. Are you happy where you're at? Do you feel fulfilled where you're at? This is a genuine question, and it's not a question that needs you to answer it in the comments. You can if you want to, but you don't have to, because this is a personal question. Are you happy and fulfilled where you're at? If the answer is no, and you are ready for that change, you are dedicated to that change, the change will happen. The change will happen. I already spoke. I have other videos that are very much already for the starters, but some of you started your spiritual journey, you started doing the things, and then you hit a wall where you had doubt, or you were struggling a little bit, or you got lost and you couldn't figure out what to do, and so you just went right back to doing the same shit that you've been doing before, but you've been on your journey. Come back. Come out the phone. Come out the screen. Come back. Lock it in with the things that you actually want to do for you. And a lot of you, it's not just stuff that you want to do for you, it's stuff that's ultimately, look at my clear quartz. Isn't that pretty? I wonder if I can, yeah, isn't that pretty? For some of you, it's not even stuff that is just about you. Like, you want to help other people. Ooh, 36 minutes and 36 seconds as I say that. I know a lot of people who the work that they want to do is to help support youth, is to help support all kinds of different groups of people who need support. My ears are popping. So you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself. Do something, at least one thing for your inner child today. And it doesn't have to be big. One thing could be that if you have a little bit of extra cash, you go and you get a Happy Meal from somewhere, a kid's meal. Or you go to the store and you pick up a Lunchables. For some of you, it's not even spending money. Go outside for a walk. Go outside for a walk. Go pick up some sticks, go pick up some rocks or baby pine cones, and bring them back in a house. And play with them. Yeah, it sounds stupid. Yeah, it sounds silly. But the truth of the matter is that when we want change, when we want to lock back into what brought us here, what made us happy, it's worth it to do these things. It's so worth it. Those of you who game, those of you who already are feeding your inner child, first off, congrats to you. Hats off to you, because this is exactly what we should be doing. And I would like to know what your experience has been so far. Reconnecting with your inner child. Is there something that you've learned about your inner child that you're a bit shocked by? I know for me, I was very shocked that my inner child is such a big proponent of gaming. I never thought I was a gamer. I never thought that. But I've actually played a shit ton of video games. I've been going back through my mental Rolodex with my inner child, and there are a lot of video games that we've played. We just didn't continue to play them. And then we never went public with that. We just did it at home. We didn't know a lot of gamers. The majority of the friends that we had were, what did they do? The majority of my friends that I had, they were very sporty. I wasn't very sporty. I wanted to be. But I had friends who were very sporty. I had friends who were like nerdy, but they didn't talk about the video games that they played at school. And because growing up, I did try to fit in with female groups, I didn't hear a lot about video games growing up. I heard a lot about the Polly Pocket, the Barbie Dream houses. I heard all about the little braiding toys that they used to sell, the little bead, the little bejeweled stuff, but I didn't hear a lot of people talking about video games when I was growing up. It was my dad who really introduced me to video games, and then my older male cousins who I played video games with whenever, they were in town or we were in town. And I didn't realize I liked gaming so much until I locked it in with my inner child, and she was like, yeah, no, I fucking love video games. Like, I want to do this shit. Like, I want to stream. I want to 39 minutes and 39 seconds as I say that. That's what she wants to do. So that's what we finna do. That's what I've been doing. I've played Roblox Doors today, and I'm getting pretty good at it. But I do tend to watch a lot of other people play it. The benefit is when you watch other people play video games, then when you get into it, you know the things that you're going to run into, so then you can kind of deal with those and keep it pushing. So like in the game that I've been playing, Roblox Doors, there's something called a rush, and that shit is scary as hell. I am going to play Doors online, so if any of you are interested in watching, you can see me tell you about what this shit is. But there's this thing, essentially it is a big like it's like an orb, but it's not an orb. It's kind of flat, and it's just got this creepy face, and it's called a rush, and you can hear it like yelling. And as you're going through all these levels in this video game, you have to listen for the sound cues, and you have to pay attention to the environment. So when because the game is called Doors, so just brief synopsis, you go through a bunch of doors. There's 100 doors that you have to go through, and then you win that, you win the game or whatever. And then there's other levels of doors I think that you can play. But when you go through a door into a room, if the lights flicker and you hear this distant yelling, it's called a rush. And if you don't go hide in a closet, it kills you upon sight. It just quickly rolls into a space, it comes through, it shakes everything, and then it rolls out. It just goes straight through. And that shit is scary. That shit is scary. When you're like, you've been going through rooms, everything's been copacetic, you're like, what? The room generator's been good to me, like the RNG's been sweet. And then you go through a door and the lights flicker, but you just so happen to be reaching down to grab some more popcorn, and when you look up, the rush got your ass, and now you're trying to figure out where the fuck you is. 41 minutes and 41 seconds as I explain that. But yes, I did well. I was about to say I didn't mean to get sidetracked, but this is just kind of the nature of what I do in these videos. But you've got this. You've got this, my love. Y'all got this. We have this together. I think one of the cool things about doing these videos is that you guys can see the amount of times that I doubt, the amount of times that I'm not feeling good. And you can kind of see, I think some of you, I know for me, I have a couple of people that I watch frequently, and I feel relieved when I see that other people are going through it too, and it's not just me. It can be such an isolating and a lonely feeling to think it's just you out here struggling. Like everybody else seems to have it together. Everybody else is finding their soulmate. Everybody else has their dream career. Everybody else, got that family and has the kids that they want, or the dog, or they're able to travel, and it's like, damn, is it just me? No, my love, it's not just you. There's a lot of us out here doing the best we can with what we've been given. And there's some of us who some people are having a harder go at it because of where they started out. Some people are moving slower, some people are moving faster. It just really depends. It depends. But I think what is consistent for everybody across the board is that one of the ways that you help yourself is to connect with yourself. Connect with yourself. Well, Yasha, what does that mean? Well, connecting with yourself means to take the time to sit and to think and to meditate. So many people discount thinking because they don't see it as being worth as much as doing. But some of the greatest people that people, celebrity worship, or the people who were in the history books, they sat there and they contemplated. 43 minutes and 43 seconds as I'm about to say this, the thought hit me right as I saw the time. Now, there is a time to leave the thinking at the door. Sometimes you gotta feel your way through it. I, after last night's, kind of semi-sad video, one of the things I realized this morning as I was speaking to myself, meditating on thought and things of that nature, was I realized I haven't been as locked into the space of love. I haven't been as locked into my heart's energy center. And usually when I'm locked into that, I'm very lovey-dovey, I'm very open, I'm very excited to experience life. And anytime I don't focus on that area, I become far more like mental focused. And then I tend to do more damage than good for myself. I try to think through everything, I try to logic everything, and it just fucks me up at the end of the day. 44 minutes and 44 seconds as I say that. So, I don't know who you are, but hello, my overthinker. Hello, my everything needs to make sense person. Hello, my if I can't see it, taste it, touch it, it's not real person. I'm glad you're here. Take my hand. But the truth of the matter is, guys, is that the journey, the growth, it's not linear. It's not linear. There's going to be moments of doubt. There's going to be moments of fear. But I think the big thing is we have to, A, be patient and compassionate with ourselves, and B, to have the overall thought of, we've got this. You've got this. Even if you have a couple days where you're doubting, even if you have some days where you didn't do the schedule, like you didn't, you set up a schedule for like your weight loss journey, 45 minutes and 45 seconds, as I say that. You've set up this journey, all these disciplinary things, and then you have a day where you fall off. Don't throw it all away just because you had an off day. We're human. We have off days. Some of us have off days consistently. Some of us have off months. And that's okay. It's a part of the journey. I know it sucks. But it doesn't mean that it's not worth it. Not by a long shot. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't try, that you shouldn't enjoy yourself. Let me get some more water because my throat is scratchy. Ruh-roh, Reggie. So yeah, 46 minutes and 46 seconds as I say so yeah, and I wrap that up. So I don't know who that was for, but I love you so much. I'm so glad you're here with me. I really am happy to see. I saw that I had 10 more subscribers, and I'm happy to see y'all. So I am steadily, gradually moving towards 1,000 followers on YouTube. Now I know for some of you that number may seem small because there are people out here with 100,000 or even 1.5 million followers or subscribers or whatever you want to call them on social media. But the truth of the matter is for me, 1,000 subscribers is a big deal. We get into this habit of seeing those numbers and we forget that there are people attached to them. We forget that there are accounts attached to them. That somebody hit the subscribe button. If you are doing content right now, if you're recording videos or you've got like stuff on SoundCloud and you're looking and you're not seeing a super speedy growth, that is okay. Some of you are on the same kind of path that I'm on, where your build-up is gradual. Do I have to sneeze? No, we're safe. I think we're safe. So some of you, you're on the gradual build that I'm on. So sometimes it can be a little disheartening when you've posted something and it hasn't gotten any attention, yet you see other people posting stuff and within the first hour of it, this person already has 5,000 views on it or 5,000 likes on it. I feel that heavy. Whenever I post a video, I try not to look at the views. I try not to look at the likes, like the amount of likes or the amount of comments. I really try to only focus on seeing y'all's comments and responding to them. But I'm not gonna lie to you. It can be disheartening to look and be like, my numbers are going so slow. But the truth of the matter is you want it to be gradual, because gradual means that people see your content and they are slowly getting on board. And the people who are getting on board are going to be with you a lot longer than if you had overnight success. You want that dedicated group of people that they are going to buy your merchandise because they were there from the jump. they've seen you grow, they've seen you struggle, they've seen your old work, they've seen you change from an artist that was really trying to impress everybody to going through your authentic phase, which hopefully this is it. Hopefully this is not a phase. Hopefully this is the change where your audience is going to see you doing what you're doing. And even though it can be disheartening to see a lack of numbers, or really to see a lack of numbers as compared to other people. I heard somebody say comparison is the thief of joy. And it really is, because when I'm just focusing on me, when I'm not looking at view count or like count or anything, I am happy and I feel blessed and excited to see likes, comments, subscribers, all that good stuff. The only time I start feeling sad about it is when I look at somebody else's content and I see how much they've done. And I see where they've gone, and I see the types of audiences that they have. But you are curating a very specific type of experience. You are creating a specific type of experience, and you're giving it to a specific group of people who are for you. 50 minutes and 50 seconds as I say that. So your experience and everything that you're doing is not for everybody. Again, I think it's great to have the goal of, 100,000 subscribers or, 1 million subscribers. Those goals are fine. There's nothing wrong with them. What is wrong is when you start betraying your authenticity for those numbers. Because what's going to happen is, just as a warning for anybody watching this who's been thinking, oh, maybe I should start doing this other content because everybody else is doing it. Let me tell you this. If you start doing content that is not authentic to you, you're going to have to keep doing it in order to maintain your audience. I know some of you are currently thinking, well, no, I can just do the fake shit. And then when all my people find me, and then when I'm in there and I have all these views, then I can be, no. Come back to the authenticity. The authenticity is what makes you attractive. 51 minutes and 51 seconds to say that. The authenticity is what makes you attractive to your audience, because your audience is craving authenticity in this time. If you start doing what everybody else has been doing, by the time it is time for your stuff to blow up and get bigger, you will have completely divulged from the path. Again, it's not that you'll miss out on opportunities, but you can hand them over. You can say, I don't want that, because your higher self is listening to you. So if you say, I don't want that, and you're pushing it away, your higher self's not going to force you into a situation where you're going to be doing the thing. That's not how it works. At least not in my, the way I have kind of witnessed things. If you are constantly saying no, like, I don't want to do that thing, the vibe that you're giving is a negative, like it's a no vibe. So then those things won't take place. So this is why you need to open up. This is why you need to be ready to receive and accept all the things that are going to help you as you continue on your journey. But yeah, bro, stay authentic. Don't sell out. Don't sell out. Don't sell out. I don't know if you all watching this remember, but do you remember back in the 2000s when American Idol, like when people who were winning American Idol were getting popular? I've heard some artistic people on Full Sail's campus say that the 2000s really were a great time because the internet hadn't blown up yet. So at the very beginning of the internet, specifically the very beginning of YouTube, everybody was authentic because they didn't know how else to be. 53 minutes and 53 seconds, let's say that. So what I mean is if you wanted to sing, you got on there and you sang. If you played instruments, is that an ant? Y'all can't hide from me. R.I.P. though. R.I.P. though. I'm sorry. What was I saying? Oh yeah. If you wanted to play instruments, if you wanted to record yourself gaming and stuff like that, it was the beginning of YouTube. That is when it was authentic, and I've actually seen a lot of people talk about this, that YouTube back in the day was very authentic. It was an authentic experience, And then at some point, when commercials, when being sponsored, when likes, when comments, when the amount of subscribers started to become a thing, people started betraying their own authenticity so that they could get those numbers. And we have a lot of examples. You can look up right now. You can literally go on YouTube right now after this video, and you can look up and see all of the old school YouTube personalities who fell off because they sold out. It's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. Because the thing is that you can't go so long being inauthentic and then switch it up to your authenticity and expect people to be on board with you. Like when people realize, oh, so this was you the whole time? Like the whole time you was lying, saying that this was how you were, and now you want to switch it up? You find a lot of people do fall off after that happens. Because you didn't start being authentic. Some people, some very, I don't know what the situation has to be in order to make that work, but some people are able to do it, where they started off being, I think it's a matter of how genuine you are. I think. So this is just a personal thought, but I feel like some celebrities or some artists who started off not being genuine, and then they started to say, no, this is the real me, this is the work that I want to do. I have a feeling the reason why some of those people are still around is because they were genuinely like, yeah, no, I was doing this because I just wanted to get out there, but now that I'm out here, this is what I do. But as far as 2025 goes, because everybody's already coming back to authenticity, you don't want to pretend to do that. You want to start off being authentic, and you want to keep that train going. Because it's not just about you receiving, the attention and you getting the subscribers and the likes stuff. It's not just about that. It's honestly about the energetic field that you're putting out. It's about what you want to say to the world. Posting stuff, these are platforms. These are platforms, and for every person who looks at your stuff and who sees your content, that is a person whose mind you may have changed on something. A person who may have not realized that they enjoy content like yours. The amount of people, there are small YouTubers on here, and I say small because they've only got like maybe 20 or 30 followers. And I consider myself a small YouTuber as well. But like there are a lot of people like me on YouTube who make content that is similar to this, and their message specifically speaks to me when I need it. I'll have stuff pop up on my recommendeds, and I'll watch it. And it'll be an 8-minute video of somebody talking about really locking it in with your music, and I'll be inspired as hell. Super inspired. But yeah, my love, now is that time. Now is the time to lock it in. And as far as locking it in, really what I mean by that is just getting serious about you. 57 minutes and 57 seconds as I say that. It's really just getting serious about locking it in with your inner child and having a good time, having fun, and realizing that you no longer need to hide yourself to make other people comfortable. You're already a giant personality already. And when I say that, I don't really mean that you're extroverted or that you talk a lot or that you stand on a stage. For some of you, you have giant energy just by being around. It's part of the reason why some of y'all got haters. And you're like, I don't understand why this person doesn't like me. It's because you have giant energy. Some of you are very quiet. And that actually benefits you because you actually have the ability to move in silence. I feel like there are a lot of different people who are on this journey right now. And those of you who are meant to be on stage in front of thousands of people, it is your time. And those of you who are meant to be backstage or in a room completely somewhere else running a different type of show, it is also your time. I'm telling you, it is a time for all of y'all to win. And we don't all want the same thing. We do not all want the same experience. We do not all want the same audience. And we don't all have the same thing to say. Yes, a lot of spiritual people, like our messages tend to be very similar. Ooh, tummy. our messages tend to be really similar because we are speaking a lot of the same truths, I would say, a lot of similar truths. Like when you're on this spiritual path, you'll come upon these things as well, and it'll be weird. So you'll notice that like your higher self will let you know, yeah, you should probably be patient with yourself, and then you'll see a bunch of videos talking about being patient with yourself. I'm telling you, there is a whole grid. When I say collective, I mean the collective consciousness that is awake, that is doing things. It's crazy. It's so crazy. Ooh, as a side note, because I got back from taking my mom to the airport, I actually brought my purse in here so I can show you guys my keys. For the first time, I have a bell on here, so I'm trying to handle it so that it doesn't make a lot of noise. But for the first time, I got a keychain that had to do with a special interest of mine. For those of you who don't know, there are some of us who have never purchased ourselves special interest related things. We just never thought to do it. We were people pleasers, or we had responsibilities, and we never thought to purchase things that had to do with our special interest. So me, I've never purchased stuff that had to do with anime or video games that I watched until like over the past 5 years is when I started doing it. So we're talking leading into late 20s, early 30s. And I finally got these. I ordered them on, I think I got them on Etsy. Ooh, okay. So let me see if I can. So there's one. And there's the other. So for those of you that don't know, these are two characters in the anime Haikyuu. It is a volleyball anime that I absolutely love because I always wanted to play volleyball growing up and I never got to play it. At some point, you know, I might get back into the gym and get really about it, and I might try to find like a local team that doesn't mind allowing somebody to come in and play. I'm also 5'2", so the thing is that when it comes to volleyball, it helps to be taller. So that's another reason I haven't really been able to play. But anyways, this anime was absolutely beautiful and I loved it. And these are two of my favorite characters. They are students, they're high school students at Nekoma High. Nekoma. And their mascot is a black cat. Fucking love it. And this is Kuro and Kenma. And they're a whole duo. And Kenma's the introvert. He actually has a handheld video game in his hand. He's the little gamer, he's the quiet gamer, and Kuro is the very flashy, like extroverted, like kind of older brother figure to Kenma. I love them so much. He's like more physical, like he's very like, physical, and Kenma's like the strategist of the team. So I love their dynamic. And I bought these when the Haikyuu movie came out. And I saw it, I think it was last year. It was last year I went and I saw it. I went alone. I had a Nekoma High jersey, and I'm actually very excited because one of my so for those of you that don't know, I like cosplay, but I've just gotten into it, so I don't have a lot of shit like under my belt yet. I've dressed as Alucard from Helsing, and I actually had like a little, like an original character that I created, and that's where this dress actually came from, that I wore to a con last May. I went to Otaku Fest in Miami, and I talk about it all the time, like personally, because it was the most fun I had ever had. I love cons. I've been saying this, I really want to go to PAX East this year. I really want to go to PAX East because PAX East specifically is about video gaming and like tech, so I really want to go. I really want to go. The tickets are already on sale. It's in Boston. I really want to go. So I'm putting that out there. But yeah, so when the movie came out, I actually bought this keychain with both of these keychain, and then I actually have a Nekoma High jersey that I wore, and I wore my red sneakers that are up there somewhere. And I went to the movies by myself because I really wanted to go, and nobody else that I knew personally knew about the show or goes and watches anime in theaters. I am a person who will go watch anime in theaters. This is the first anime movie that I ever saw in theaters because, again, I've never allowed myself to spend my money on my special interests. I've only ever spent it on like things, well, tattoos technically are a special interest, so I kind of have to, but again, last 5 or so years is when I really started, you know, making sure that I put those away. That's when I started really spending money on stuff that I liked. And if you're a person you're usually very responsible with your funds, I would say put a little money aside so that you can do something for yourself. You know, go get a meal that you've always wanted to have. There are a couple of themed restaurants that are around the US. You know, you should go eat at a themed restaurant, you know? Go get yourself, you know, like a plushie that you've seen that you really, really like. I'm trying to think. Currently there are a couple of like plushies that I would like to get, but I think a lot of them have stopped being sold because usually it's like a special. So there's some video games that I absolutely love that I want to get like plushies of. So like the Dishonored game, I'm probably going to stream that. That might actually be the first game that I play because I have been talking about Dishonored for years. It's the game that inspired this tattoo, like this whole thing right here. I've been talking about Dishonored for years and nobody ever knows what I'm talking about when I talk about it and I describe it. I'm like, it's a first person, you know, stealth game where you're an assassin and it's really fun, and people are always like, oh yeah, I don't know anything about that. I'm like, bro, you're missing out. So I think it's a game that doesn't require me to be online. So I think I might play Dishonored first so that y'all can see why I'm so obsessed with it. And you can see my massive crush that I have on the Outsider, because the Outsider is like, he's incredible. I know that he's kind of like a god, so he doesn't have human emotions and, you know, he's just kind of there, but he's so fine. I have a thing for skinny guys who speak super monotone and have big ears. But anyways, yeah, you owe it to yourself to do some stuff for your inner child, special interests and all that. Remember, you are a giant, and as a giant, you're going to feel uncomfortable in situations that are smaller, that force you to be small, and that's a good thing. So if you're really uncomfortable with where you've been and you're getting more and more uncomfortable, it's probably because what your true desire is, you are not following, and so your spirit's kind of forcing you into this situation, which is probably good for you if I'm being honest. But anyways, I think that's all I have. Let's see what time it is. Ooh, it's 2:30. Oh no, that was laundry. I'm glad it was just a jacket and some socks. But yeah, so for those of you that don't know, I'm literally in my shared closet that I have with my sister, and I set this phone up on her dirty clothes bin that she has, and I prop it up so that I can record, because I don't really have any other way to do this where I can comfortably do this where I won't be interrupted, because I share my living space with 3 other people and their family, and they, you know, my mom works from home, my sister's not always at school, my dad works, but sometimes he's just in, so the space is not ideal for streaming and stuff. Again, I have no idea how I'm gonna do that, but I think I'm just gonna go for it and see what happens. But anyways, you guys, we're already doing it. We're already on the path to everything. To everything. I was moved to relax today, to not try to do anything serious. So that's what I did today. Tomorrow, I'm being moved to do the exact same thing, and I'm being moved to do the exact same thing the next day. After 3 days, my throat should be feeling better, which is what I'm feeling, that my throat's going to be better in 3 days. Well, now it'll be in 2 days. And my throat will be feeling better, and then I can finally try on my new wigs that my bestie got me that I'm so excited to put on. I'm going to try those on, and then I think I'm going to begin making new content on top of this. So, if you're a person who follows my spiritual content, my nightly yapping sessions, do not worry. This content is not going anywhere. I'm going to continue to do this because I am so moved to do it. When I talk about doing other stuff, I'm talking about doing it on top of this. Now, at some point, this format may change depending upon the situation. Right now, my living situation and my whole setup makes this possible. So I will continue to do this. So for those of you who are really enjoying these, first off, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Thank you for enjoying them. Thank you for liking them. Thank you for watching them. Thank you for commenting on these videos. I love you, love you, love you, love you, love you so much for that. But also, for those of you who do like other types of content, I will probably be merging in slowly, over time, gradually, other things, you know. Sometimes mentally I have the mind of a grandma, occasionally. So sometimes I'm like, how do I put this together with all the technology? So we're just gonna see what happens. But at some point, I have already said this in other videos, when I reach 1,000 followers on here, I am going to do a live. So at some point, I think I'm gonna do a poll, and I'm gonna see what time zone y'all are in, so that I can figure out when an ideal time to do that live would be, because I want to do it in a time where a majority of you can be there so that we can engage and we can talk and we can have a good time. I think that live can also be like a show and tell, so I might have some items that I haven't shown you guys, maybe that I have that I can show you guys, maybe. I don't know. So I definitely want to do a live. I'm already planning to have soju present, maybe some candy. Then maybe I'll have some stuff to show you guys, or maybe some specific stories to tell y'all, or maybe some questions for y'all, because I want to get to know y'all too. So maybe I'll have some questions, and then y'all can answer, and I can read y'all's answers, and we can get to know each other. Anyways, I like that idea. That sounds like a lot of fun. But anyways, I love y'all so much. I love y'all so much. When I say it, I really do feel it. I really do feel it. Again, I haven't really been locked into my heart energy center over the past week because I've been so up here trying to get things done. So I'm really feeling it right now, and I'm going to continue to feel it as I meditate tonight before I go to bed. But anyways, you guys are fantastic. You're fantastic and amazing. You're talented. You're beautiful. You're incredible. You're handsome. You're strong. You're empathetic. You're kind. You're loving, and I am adoring having you all here with me as I do these videos. Alrighty, well, I love y'all, and I will see you tomorrow night. Bye. Mwah.